All right, this is really cool. This is the EP3 from Olympus, micro 4/3, little evil camera. That means electronic viewfinder. They're mirrorless. There's no actual visual viewfinder, so if you're used to doing this, you're not going to be doing it anymore. It's because there's nothing there, and I keep doing it. I keep going like this to take a picture, and I'm like, oh, that's right. Basically what happens to these is the viewfinder is the screen. I'll go ahead and pull this out and unlock the lens, and you'll see the viewfinder is going to pop up right there. Oh, let me unlock it. There we go. And there is your viewfinder, and that's how you're going to do it. Now, this is a really cool camera. The EP2 and the EP1 were originals. They were like, you know, forefathers of the micro four thirds cameras, but they had a lot of problems, and Olympus has fixed them all with this little EP3. It is very, very cool. This is the 5th version they've made, and they finally nailed it. The best things that have happened to this is that it's really way, way faster with everything, with loading pictures, with going through menus, with saving them to the card so that you can shoot the next image even faster. Watch, I'm going to focus. Bam, picture's taken, cards writing, done, you're back. Before it used to take forever, and this is really, really fast. And that's thanks to the TruePic 6 chip that's inside. It's actually a dual-core image processing chip, which is really neat. I've never seen that before, but everything is faster. Taking it, you know, if one of the bad parts about point-and-shoots is they have to wait. Watch, focus. Pull the trigger, bam, took the photo instantly. You don't have to wait. You don't miss those moments. You catch them all, and that's really, really important when you're trying to get better at photography and improve yourself. So if you don't want to jump up directly into a DSLR, but a point-and-shoot is not cutting it, this is the perfect camera. And another thing they added to that makes it really good is the fact that it came with a pop-up flash, which it didn't have before, and everybody was pretty upset about because, hey, maybe you're trying to get better photography and be more professional, but maybe you want to take this to a party and shoot pictures of your friends too, and without having a pop-up flash, well, that's a big pain. Now, start by looking at the lens. There's a couple different options as far as lenses you can get. This is the 14 to 42 Zuiko Digital ED Type 2, Mark II. This is a 14 to 42 millimeter. So because these cameras have a 2x crop factor, because they're the micro four thirds sensor, it's actually a 28 to 84. You multiply it by 2. That's going to give you your 35 millimeter equivalent. So if you did want to zoom in, this is the equivalent of an 84 millimeter, and on the wide end, it's the equivalent of a 28 meter, which is substantially wider than a few other lenses available. Now, you can also get it with the 17 millimeter 2.8 pancake prime lens. It's going to be a little bit faster, for sure, but it's only one lens, and that's going to be 17 millimeters, so you're not going to be able to zoom in at all. So they're both really good. They're both pretty sharp, very nice as far as that's concerned. There are some optional lenses from Olympus that are really nice. The 12 millimeter f2, which is a 24 millimeter equivalent, gorgeous lens if you can afford it. Go for it. Also the 45 f1.8, that's a 90 millimeter equivalent. That's a great portrait lens. If you're taking pictures with a lot of people, you're going to love that lens. Now, these are fully adjustable. As we're talking about lenses, you can remove the lens right there. That's your micro four thirds sensor. You're going to make sure never to touch that because you will ruin it. But it's really nice to use. You don't have to worry about a viewfinder. There is no mirror in the front, so you see the sensor right there when you put it on. Let me get this lens back on. Now, that little sensor that we just saw is actually a 12.3 megapixel sensor, so it's almost the same as the last one, but it actually has a few tweaks to make it work better with the lenses, not only the kit lenses, but the more premium lenses like the 12 and the 45 millimeter. It also takes HD video, which is fantastic. Now, it will do 720p in the AVI format, or it'll do 1080i in AVC HD. I think the next one will probably come out with 1080p in AVC HD or in AVI. That would be great. Another thing that's really cool about this is the display. I'm not going to lie, I might be slightly in love with this display. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and go playback. I was taking a bunch of dumb pictures, but this is a touchscreen. It's a capacitive touchscreen display, which is absolutely incredible. If you like iPhones and stuff, this is right up your alley. Now, these pictures are all going to look the same because I was literally just pointing it at things and taking pictures, but it takes fantastic little photos, and the display is gorgeous. And this is a capacitive touch screen. It's not like a resistive where you have to push down. This is like on your iPhone. Very, very nice. You can zoom in and out, and it's a 614,000 dot OLED capacitive touchscreen display, which is absolutely incredible. Now, just because you got touchscreen doesn't mean that you lost all your buttons. It still has almost all of the manual little buttons here. So right here, you have a scroll wheel. If you want to go up and down, that's going to let you increase and decrease your shutter speed accordingly. And if you want to mess with your aperture, you push this button, and then you can go ahead and move it up and down. We're going to go all the way, actually this is your shutter speed, all the way to 30 seconds, and bulb, oh look at that, 60 seconds. I didn't even know that. That's incredible. 60-second exposure is the maximum you can do. You can shoot bulb, and then on the other end of the spectrum, let's see what the fastest is. I'm guessing 4,000. 4,000, I nailed it on the dot. Awesome. So very cool. You have full control. If you want to go ahead and change your ISO settings, you can just push this button over here, and that's going to give you all your ISO as well as your different types of focuses. You have single and continuous. You have manual focus, and then you also have a couple different continuous with tracking. You can change your metering from an evaluative to a a full frame or a spot metering. You can also do a flash exposure compensation. You can do a bunch of different manual fill modes, which is really cool. You can do fill. You can do fill plus red eye. Whoops, hold on, let me get back there. Fill plus red eye. You can do no flash, and then you can do second curtain or rear curtain, which means that it's going to show motion differently. Great at parties, definitely use it at parties. And then full manual control of your flash, half power, quarter power, eighth power, 16th power, all the way down to 32nd and 1/64th power. So it's all really awesome, and this is all good stuff if you're just shooting manual. If you want to make your pictures look better, shoot manual, learn how to use your camera. If you're afraid and you don't want to do that, fine. You can be wimpy and use the automatics. The one on this camera are incredible. You have lots of face tracking and priority stuff. And if you look at the top here, you have a couple different settings. I'm in manual as always, but you do have a shutter priority, an aperture priority, a program, an auto, and then something that I normally wouldn't bring up, but it's actually worth it in this camera, is the art. It's really cool. It's these artistic pictures. Think like maybe hipstamatic, but on this camera and fully automatic. They're very cool. You have a pinhole setting. You have a Holga setting for a plastic lens. Lots of really cool features. They actually look really cool. Scene modes, some people use them, like park or outdoors or sports. Personally, just learn how to use your camera. Take a quick 101 photography online. You'll enjoy it much better. And then finally, you have your video mode, which is going to let you basically video whatever you want. Now, a couple other features to take note of. This does have a hot shoe. If you want to put a hot shoe mount flash on there or get a pocket wizard of some sort, you can go ahead and throw that on there, which is pretty neat. And let's see, what else can I show you on this thing? It does have a 1/4 inch 20 threaded at the bottom, so if you want to use a tripod, it is a little bit off center with the center of the lens, but that's okay on the Micro Four Thirds camera. It's pretty common. This is where your battery's going to go. Also on the bottom, you'll notice that you have your card slot. Like it says right here, it does take SDXCs, but of course it's backwards compatible, so it will take all the other older SD memories up to 32 gigabytes. We threw in a SanDisk 8 gigabyte Ultra card. This does not come with it, but these are really nice. And if you get the slightly faster cards, maybe even a little faster than this camera will actually keep up with them, and it will write to that even faster. It does have a continuous high version, shoots about 2.5, 3 frames per second, so it's still fast. And if you keep this fast card in here, you're actually going to be able to get them all, which is really neat. Also on the back, you do have a little speaker and a little microphone, as well as a little scroll wheel to go through your settings, a lot of little dedicated buttons, and then a full menu with a whole bunch of good stuff in there. So this is a very well-featured camera. If you don't want to go all the way to a full-size DSLR, but you want interchangeable lenses, you want something that's going to respond fast and shoot a picture like a DSLR does and not like a point-and-shoot, which takes forever, this is going to be right up your alley. If you want to get a little bit of more grip on it, it does come with this little grip add-on. I'll show you how it fits. Basically, you put it right there and you screw it in, and it gives you a little bit of grip. So this camera is really nice. Olympus did a really good job upgrading it. It's definitely better than the EP1 and the EP2 that had little issues. So there you have it, the latest generation of the pen cameras from Olympus. If you have any questions on it, feel free to email me, and I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the Olympus EP3 Micro Four Thirds camera, type in 083-1386 into any major search engine.